I'm just giving you. Notice here, from the beginning of the universe, the number of angels that were cast down or that were ever created has never increased. They are the same number. No procreation, no intimacy between the angels. They have only one area. The only way they can actually prove their impact to the devil is if they change their strategy, because they can never increase in number, but we can increase in number. So reproduction as to produce the same species is only for humans and for other animals. But when it comes to angels, they can't increase in number. So since they can't increase in number, they've always been the same from creation past, eternity past. That means now they have a certain agenda, and the agenda is to bring out darkness, controlling from dark matter. If you understand dark matter and dark energy, they are almost 95% of what we have that control all this force of gravity you see, or rather the force of gravity you think you experience is not all there is. That's what they can measure. And then they realize there is something that is beyond this, that also pulls the planets into shape and into position. So what does the devil do to kind of proliferate the darkness, to make the darkness of value? What he has done when he realizes he has got few people, or rather manpower is small, or rather he cannot increase the number of fallen angels, what he has done was to get into what we call culture. Maybe you do not understand that there is a revelation, or rather the link between cult and culture. In order to produce a cult, you ought to produce a culture that people never run away from. I wish I could talk to somebody. The word cult itself was never evil. That's why English still has what we call the cult following. It's not negative. It simply means they are following and they are not leaving the man, or they are not leaving the woman, or they are not leaving the principle. So this principle has a cult following. But what happens with every cult, it creates a culture and people don't leave a culture. I wish I could talk to you. I need to get it to you so that, you see, last week we were, now I wanted to get in. So the culture, when it's developed, when people think that's my culture, see how we oppose all these people who are moving around, doing all this, shaking their body, especially their back. Have you ever looked into your own culture as an African? How you used to dance? No. I know I'm touching something, and I know you don't want me to deal with it because you are nervous now. Listen to me. Listen, we are opposing people twerking everywhere. What was your traditional dance? You oppose women for wearing short skirts. You just had one strip here, one strip there, and you walk nicely everywhere in your culture. Am I too much into this, so I can just leave it? Was that not your culture? All our traditional dance, mainly most of our traditional dance, are vulgar. A man dances here, a woman dances here, you meet in the... I touched you. I touched your culture now. I touched you. You are busy opposing other people's cultures. This is not godly. This is not cultural. This is not decent. That was you. Your mama. I go here. You don't want this. You don't want this smoke. I can produce more smoke. You don't want this. How is it so that you are okay with your traditional dance? Man of God, you do not understand. These women are gold diggers. You don't have the gold. Where are they digging? Just be open with yourself and tell yourself, I am broke. I can't afford this type of woman. Let me go to where I was going. I'm leaving this one alone. If any man tells you you're a gold digger, just tell them, you can't take care of. I don't know how it went there. Let me come back here. So what causes our culture to dance in a certain demonic, I put this in quotes, demonic way, that most of our songs that are in the culture are vulgar. And we are okay with it. But we think Generation Z has left our culture. If Generation Z is going to follow your culture, they have to wear one strip in front, one strip at the back. The breasts have to be out. And men too. One strip in front, strip at the back. Papa is ready to go. You still don't get what I'm trying to negotiate. I'm dealing with the issue of darkness. That the devil, knowing he has no manpower, or rather angel power, whatever you want to call it, or spirit power, what the devil has done is to influence culture. So you can't come out of a thing because you think it's cultural. It's the way we dance in our culture. So if reggae has some bit that is demonic, if we tell you this type of reggae is demonic, you say, but that's there. Because the devil, sit on them. See, because the devil, what he did when he realized that the angels are few and they are not increasing, he decided the only way a human being can change or can stick to one area of thought was to bring culture in. So it becomes culture raw. So every excuse you will give me, if I tell you to do something, you will say, culture raw. If a white man stands here and I tell them you need to pay lobola, they will say, in our If we get to a point where we want to tell the truth now, I wish I had time and the energy to do this. Is lobola even necessary? Because in our culture, it is necessary. But the moment you say culture, we gotta go back to the whole culture and set it up and say, what did you used to do? In our rural area, a woman would be put in front of the old women, the elderly. And every year, they would check physically your virginity. Nowadays, they know it's a waste of time. They got the verdict. And the man comes and you flipping $70,000 lobola. Ooh, for what? I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking about culture. Why am I paying $70,000 for a second hand, sorry, 30 hand or 40? I don't hear nobody up there. Nobody. Ain't nobody saying to no preacher. Ain't nobody saying nothing to me. In the balcony, it's quiet. It's like a funeral up there. Now the question then is, you got to look at your own neighbor. If they are too quiet, you got a suspect in your role. Shout dark matter! Dark matter! Is it worth it? What are you paying for? Because it's our culture. I didn't say don't do it. I'm trying to tell you what is defining our lives is not the gospel, it's the culture. I know you're not with me. If you are angry as a woman or as a man with what I just said, you belong to the streets. And while I'm at it, let me just say that's good business. Because on the street is the only location where you can sell your product and go home with it. Anyway, you just heard what I said. I'm talking about mangoes here. I decree and declare somebody here, you will get into the